Dust lifts over the old city as evening bells fade. Beneath the golden shimmer of the Temple Mount, a low hum of prayer turns to voices, measured, ancient, commanding. They rise, not in anger, but in proclamation. For nearly 2,000 years, the council that once guided Israel vanished into history's silence. Tonight, it speaks again. A circle of rabbis stands against the western wall, declaring that the time has come to prepare for the rebuilding of the temple. No breaking news ticker flashes across the screen, no network scramble for footage. Yet something in Jerusalem has shifted, a sound like prophecy inhaling before it speaks again. And as those words ripple through the narrow streets, the question falls heavy in the air. Has the countdown begun? Join us as we uncover proof that God's word was written not just in ink, but in stone and soil, right beneath the city of Jerusalem. Before we continue, subscribe for more discoveries where faith meets archaeology, and don't forget to turn on notifications for our next revelation from the Holy Land. The scene looks ordinary to anyone passing through the old city. Tourists drifting, candles burning, guards pacing their steady rhythm. Yet behind the prayer stones at the western wall, an extraordinary declaration has just echoed, heard by only a few hundred souls, but destined to echo far beyond Israel's borders. The rabbis who gathered weren't seeking cameras or crowds. They were signaling a turning point. In careful, deliberate words, they announced the next stage of preparation for the temple. Plans long whispered among scholars, now spoken aloud for all of heaven to hear. The world's media scrolled past the story, unaware that history just took another breath. Beneath those stones lies not only memory, but momentum. A council once erased by time now stands again, and every syllable it utters seems to press the prophetic clock faster toward midnight. To grasp why this meeting stirs such weight, we have to look backward. The Sanhedrin, 71 elders once regarded as Israel's spiritual court, guided the nation through law, worship, and prophecy. Their voices framed the pulse of faith itself. But when the Romans tore Jerusalem apart in 70 AD, the council collapsed, scattered like ash on desert wind. For 2 millennia, its seats stayed empty, until now. In recent decades, a new body quietly emerged, studying ancient rulings and reforming the structure of that sacred court. The same number of elders, the same purpose, to lead Israel in matters of divine law. And tonight, that reborn council has spoken publicly, from the very ground where their predecessors vanished. The echo is impossible to ignore. Something lost to time has returned to its chamber, and prophecy has stepped forward to take attendance. The story of Jerusalem is stitched with fire and return. When Roman legions crushed the temple in 70 AD, its stones burned until even the air tasted of smoke. The city was scattered to exiles. Israel became a memory carried on parchment in prayer. For generations, prophets' words lingered as promises that the people would one day come home. Then, in 1948, after centuries of wandering, a flag rose again over ancient soil. The impossible nation returned. 19 years later, in 1967, soldiers stood at the Western Wall and wept, the heart of prophecy pulsing once more beneath their hands. Yet through it all, one piece remained missing, the dwelling place, the temple itself. And now, with priests being trained and proclamations being made, the last link in that long chain seems to glint again in the Jerusalem sun, waiting for its moment to rise. While the declaration stirs headlines of faith, the groundwork has been quietly forming for decades. In a small museum near the Temple Mount, artisans and scholars have rebuilt what history erased. Golden lampstands, altars, silver trumpets, the vessels of worship, recreated to precise ancient measure. Robes for priests hang ready, woven from crimson, blue, and gold threads. Even the rare red heifers, bred in secrecy and guarded like treasure, graze in expectation of their sacred role in purification rites. Each object gleams like a fragment of prophecy polished by human hands. Together, they whisper one message. The preparations are no longer theoretical. The pieces exist,
tangible and waiting. And with tonight's announcement, that long, quiet collection changes meaning from museum display to instruments poised for use. The question that follows is sharper than ever. What stops the builders now? Why does this matter beyond walls and stones? Because prophecy points to a temple yet to stand. The ancient writings describe a time when worship will rise again in Jerusalem, then be tested by events that shake the world. Every verse implies a real place, not symbol or story, an altar, sacrifices, a holy inner court. The return of such a sanctuary marks a hinge of history, a signal that divine timing is moving. Whether believers see it as anticipation or warning, the message is the same. The stage must exist before the final act unfolds. And now, as Israel regains both desire and means, that stage is being built in blueprint and in faith. The words of centuries press closer to fulfillment as prophecy reaches out steady-handed to touch the practical plans of today. To many in Israel, these preparations mark the dawn of restoration. They see hope rising where ruin once stood, a covenant remembered, a nation fulfilling its promise. Each stone envisioned for the new temple feels like a heartbeat of faith, yet prophecy carries a shadow alongside the light. It warns that before the true Redeemer appears, a false peace will come, a leader who brings calm before calamity. The same temple built in hope may one day host deceit. That paradox hums beneath Jerusalem's streets, devotion and danger intertwined. Are the builders shaping a dwelling for divine presence, or unknowingly crafting the stage for the greatest test in history? Beneath the celebration, that question refuses silence. The sound of construction might just echo the approaching footsteps of both deliverance and deception, walking the same sacred ground. Look beyond the Temple Mount, and patterns begin to cross-stitch around the world. Israel, reborn from ashes in 1948, thrives exactly as prophets foresaw, a land once barren now greening with orchards and cities. Jerusalem stands again at the center of global debate, that stone too heavy for nations to lift. Technology races forward. Knowledge multiplies faster than any scroll could record. Across borders, the message of faith travels by satellite and screen, the words reaching nearly every tongue. None of these threads alone surprise us, yet together they form something electric, converging in timing too precise to dismiss. Each signal strengthens the next, until world events move with the rhythm of an invisible countdown. And somewhere within that acceleration is a whisper, a sense that the age of prophecy isn't behind us, it's happening in real time. If these signs are real, and they stand plainly before us, then this moment asks more than curiosity. It asks awareness. Prophecy has never been written to scare, it's written to prepare. Every fulfilled promise sharpens the next, a reminder that time itself is precious. When worlds shift and nations tremble, we're invited not to panic, but to steady our hearts. These stories are ancient, but their purpose is present. They call us to live awake, to measure our priorities against eternity's horizon. The same God who allowed us to witness miracles of restoration now watches how we respond to them. In the flicker between history and destiny lies a choice, distraction or devotion. That's the true tension of this hour. The stones of Jerusalem may soon be rebuilt, but the question remains, are our lives ready to stand beside them? Night settles over the city, and the air vibrates with that strange stillness only Jerusalem knows. Half silence, half heartbeat. Lanterns flicker along the wall, prayers merge with wind. A council speaks, history answers. The plans are drawn, the vessels ready, the voices rising once more beneath a sky that has watched it all before. Somewhere between the stones and the stars, prophecy stands at attention. The world may scroll past, distracted, but time is no longer patient. Each declaration, each preparation, feels like the click of gears in a cosmic clock. When will it strike its final hour? None can say, yet one truth seems certain. The line between ancient promise and modern reality has vanished. The sound echoing through Jerusalem tonight is more than prayer. It's the turning of the age itself.